So hello everyone, today we will be working on some transformation of data and adding some columns using the Power Query feature as I told you in the previous video. So the very first thing is getting data, and as I told you my data is mostly in CSV files. I'll be using this AdBox customers because I think there will be lots of strings here and we will be having lots of words or strings there for which we can do some transformation. As you will press open, it will open this particular view which I told you last time as well. You can either load your data, you can transform your data, and it will also give you some information about the data. For example, file origin, what is the comma, what is the delimiter or the separator, and the data type of first 200 rows. So this is how our data looks. It has the customer key, the prefix, the first name, last name, birth date, marital status, gender, and various other things. So what we'll be doing, I'll be telling you a bit about, like, these are all in capital letters. We will be transforming them into capitalize only the first letter, and we will be joining them as well. So we don't have to go through three different columns, but it will be in one column itself. And then I'll tell you how to use the delimiter function, wherein we will be extracting the username or this particular name of from the email ID, so that you can use it in various functions as well. And we will be creating separate columns for that. In some cases we will be just doing the transformation within the system. So as I told you, if you will load the data, it will take you to the Power BI report view or data view, where this data is loading the data means that this data is ready for analysis. But as I told you, we have to do certain transformations. I'll be connecting to Power Query so that we can do these transformations, and then we'll be closing and applying the data. So here we are, the data is just loading, and here we see our AdBox product. And let me do one thing. I'll just do this as well, customer dimension. So as of now, I've just changed the name of the column. Now there are, as I told you, we want to change this all uppercase to capitalize. So we will go to transform. Now there's a big difference between this transform and add column, and I'll be telling you that through example itself. I wanted for example, capitalize each word. So you can see these are the changes, and we have got the changes registered in the applied steps as well. So you know next time when you load the data that what are the changes which you did. I will be doing the same thing with these two as well. And format, capitalize each letter, and here we are, we have already done it. Now as I was telling you, I want to join or merge, as we say in Excel, these three columns. I'll be just doing that, merge column. Now I have done this under the transformation feature. Now you will see the difference. It is asking me for the separator, and this is a very wrong approach, to be frank, because I am merging these three columns within this table. It will not be adding any column there. So that's a mistake which I have done. I have to actually go to add columns to do this merge. You see both the options are there. Here you have a merge column option, here also we have a merge column options, but this is a better one here because we want a separate column with all the three names, and we want it separate out of the table. So let me just select it. Select is quite simple. You just Control Shift and select and merge column. Now we have done the right thing. Do you want any separators here? Yes, we do want a separators, probably spaces, and new column will be merged. The name of the column, for example, I just want to say full name, and okay. Now we will see this change. So now if we will go towards the end, we will see that yes, these names are being converted to a separate column with a full name. Now you might keep these names, or you might not want to keep these names. That's exactly up to you. How to delete columns, it's very simple. Just do a right click and say remove columns. Probably I don't want those names, and as I told you, I'll also rename this particular thing that I have remove the first and last name, so that if in case later on I have to come back to this particular table to see what all changes I have done because of certain errors, certain problems, I will remember this through these applied steps, that what all I have done. Inserted merge column. I'll change this one as well for full name, so that itself defines it, right? So as even you can see the changes which you have done by clicking on each step, and here you will not find it. Towards the last step you will not find this full name. So as previously I told you, we will be just extracting this. Now again we will be using the add column feature itself here. You have seen some examples of transform where we did some changes. You can now see add column. We will be extracting something from these. So it gives you various options in terms of extraction. As I told you that we will be extracting this particular username in this case. So extract gives you that do you want to extract columns with a certain length, only the first these many characters. For example, if I'll say first 4 characters, then it will extract JON2 and it will leave the 4. But as these first usernames are not very symmetrical or not very systematic, we will be going with other option which is called as text before delimiter, because here we have a defined delimiter. As I told you, delimiter is nothing but from which you can see the difference between two text. For example, John 24 and Adventure Works, or just Adventure I would say, we can see a difference here, right? John 24 is different and Adventure is different. We are able to get this fact because we have an @ sign in between, which is a delimiter in this case, and that's why we are able to define that these two words are different words, or adventure and works are two different works, because we have this dash here which is a delimiter again. So without much delay, I'll just tell you how to do it. So for example, text before delimiter. Now we know that our delimiter is at, and we want all the text before delimiter. There are some advanced options as well, scan for delimiter for the start input and an input. This is more of the option which we don't want now, but if in case you want a certain text to be extracted which is between two delimiters, then we can obviously use this. And yeah, so we will just say okay, and here we are. We'll go towards the end. We will see that we have already got all the usernames. That's great and so easy. With just 2 clicks, we were able to extract the usernames from this entire email ID. It becomes so difficult at times if you want to do anything like this. And now let me, as I was looking at the advanced function, I also got to know why don't we try and take this Adventure Works out of this, so that you will be having a better clarity on how it works. So what I just did right now is, instead of going before or after, I set text between delimiters. So here we are. Start delimiter we know is at, and the second one is, as we know, is .com, and we will say okay, and it will give us the results in this. So I'll just change the name. I want it to be renamed as username, and here we can just, again, we can do a double click or you can just do a right click. Let's say probably the company, but we say error here. We see there's a .com here which is coming up. So I would like to remove this because this is not the right thing. What we wanted just the Adventure Works here. So why is that? Let's try again. Text between delimiters, or let's look at the text first. Just okay, seems to be fine. Text between delimiters. Wanted it at, and delimiter is .com. Okay, probably last time I clicked on a comma instead of a dot, but yes, so this time it is correct. We'll just double click and say this is the name of the company. And this again, you have various other options, like in case you want to replace, like the function control F or control R we have in Excel. We have the function to replace things as well, and that mostly works with transform. You can do some transformation where you can replace certain kind of values. For example, if I want to just replace this dash with say a space, so that I have a proper company name, and then I'll just do the A of adventure and W of works as capital. So for that replacement, we'll just go to this particular option. You see 1 converted to 2, and as soon as you click on this arrow, it will tell you whether you want to replace certain values or replace certain errors. So we are not dealing with this particular function as of now. We'll just say we want to replace the values in this particular column, and that is we want to replace this with a space, which is nothing. Say OK, and you see the changes. It has replaced with nothing. So it means there is a value which is defined for a space as well, and that's, you have to define the space. So let me try this, and here we are. As I told you, I just want to change the change it and format it into, say, capitalize each word, and now we have the company name. So here we have done all the changes. We have extracted username. First of all, we created the first of all we actually went and changed the format. It was like this earlier, and then we changed it to capitalizing the first letter. Then we merged the columns to get the full name of the person, and then we merged the column to get the full name of the person. Then we extracted the username from an email ID. We also extracted the company name. So these are the certain text things which you can do. There are numerous actually features which you can use, but these are the major ones which we usually do when we are analyzing or getting insights from the data, the basic cleansing techniques which you may want to do, and which occurs actually a lot. So thank you very much for this video. I'll be telling you about the numerical transformations and aggregate functions in the next one. Thank you.